Welcome back to Clarity Unlocked. Get ready for deeper insights, bolder ideas, and the ultimate journey to unlocking new perspectives. Let me ask you something powerful. How many times have you promised yourself, "This is the last time," only to fall back into the same habit again? Late night scrolling, mindless snacking, procrastinating on things that matter. We all do it. But what if I told you? There's an ancient method that's helped warriors, emperors, and philosophers conquer their worst urges, and it still works today. It's called Stoicism, and it's not about being cold or emotionless. It's about inner strength, mental clarity, and unshakable discipline. Before we talk about how a Stoic defeats bad habits, we first need to understand what Stoicism really is and what it isn't. Most people think Stoicism means being emotionless, just walking around like a robot pretending nothing bothers you, but that's not Stoicism. That's numbness, and it's not what the ancient Stoics taught. Stoicism is about control, not over the world, but over yourself. It's a philosophy built on 4 unshakable pillars: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Let's break that down simply. Wisdom means knowing what's worth your time and what isn't. Courage means doing what's right even when it's uncomfortable. Justice means treating others fairly and honestly. And self-discipline, that's the key to breaking habits. That's where your power begins. One of the most famous Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, was the emperor of Rome. And yet he wrote in his private journal every day about staying humble, focused, and clear-headed. He reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Epictetus, another Stoic, was born a slave. He taught that freedom isn't about your situation, it's about your response to it. And Seneca, a wealthy politician and philosopher, constantly practiced detachment. He'd sleep on the floor or eat plain food, not because he had to, but because he wanted to train his mind. These men weren't perfect. They had temptations, distractions, and emotions just like us. But they lived by one simple rule: focus only on what you can control. They didn't try to force the world to change. They focused on changing themselves. And that's the first Stoic key to overcoming bad habits. Stop blaming the world. Start mastering your mind. Today, I'll show you how a Stoic overcomes bad habits, not by brute force, but by mastering their mind. Before we dive in, if you're someone who's tired of quick fix hacks and wants to build true mental power, then this channel is for you. Hit that subscribe button because here, we don't just talk motivation, we build mindsets that last. So, what is a bad habit? Scrolling for hours, overeating, delaying work until the last minute. We often label them as bad because they waste our time, drain our energy, and pull us away from who we want to be. But to the Stoics, habits, good or bad, aren't just behaviors. They're reactions, automatic responses to emotions or situations. Let's break that down. Stoic style. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because true change requires discomfort. To Stoics, bad habits come from one thing: a lack of control over your desires. Think of it like this. You feel bored, you open social media, you feel anxious, you eat comfort food, you feel overwhelmed. You avoid the task altogether. Each habit is your mind saying, "This will make you feel better right now." And that's the trap. The Stoics believed that chasing temporary pleasure leads to long-term weakness. So instead of asking, "What feels good right now?" they asked, "What leads to long-term peace?" Here's the Stoic breakdown of how bad habits work. Impulse. A thought or craving arises. Reaction. You act without awareness. Regret. You feel guilty or frustrated afterward. Repeat. It becomes automatic over time. Now here's the key. The Stoics didn't try to kill bad habits by willpower alone. They used reason. They paused, observed, and responded with intention. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. In other words, you are not your craving. You are not your first thought. You are your response." When a Stoic notices a bad habit creeping in, they don't shame themselves. They calmly say, I see you, but I choose differently. And with practice, that tiny pause becomes your greatest power. You can't fix what you don't understand. That's why the first real Stoic weapon against bad habits is this: self-awareness. Most people go through life on autopilot. They react, they crave, they give in. Then they ask, why can't I stop? But the Stoics had a daily practice that most modern people ignore: reflection. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world at the time, used to sit down every morning and every night and write to himself. Not to impress others. Not to sound smart, but to ask one powerful question: where did I act against my values today and why? This wasn't about guilt. It was about clarity. He would examine what triggered him, what emotions took control. What could he do better tomorrow? And this, my friend, is the root of breaking bad habits. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. Let me show you how to use Stoic self-awareness in real life. Imagine this. You're trying to quit staying up late on your phone. You failed 10 nights in a row. The reactive person says, I have no self-control. The Stoic says, what time does the urge start? What am I feeling when I grab the phone? What am I trying to avoid? They observe, not judge. And here's the second Stoic tool: rational control. Epictetus taught that we should challenge every thought with reason, so when the craving says, just 10 more minutes won't hurt, the Stoic replies, what will this cost me tomorrow? This small act, questioning the impulse, starts to break the cycle. Every time you pause and think, you reclaim a little power. The Stoics believed your reasoning mind is your highest faculty. It's what separates you from animals, impulses, and chaos. And it's your job to use it. So next time a habit calls your name, don't fight it blindly. Observe it, question it, redirect it. Because real control doesn't come from suppression, it comes from understanding. The Stoics knew something most people today forget. Comfort is a trap. When everything is easy, soft, and instant, we grow weak. And weak minds can't break bad habits. That's why the Stoics deliberately trained themselves in discomfort. Not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they knew discomfort sharpens discipline. Let's talk about delayed gratification, a major Stoic principle. Imagine you're craving junk food. Your body screams, I want it now. But your mind says, wait, breathe, choose better. This pause, this gap between craving and action, that's where willpower is trained, and the Stoics trained that skill daily. Seneca slept on the floor. Even though he had wealth and luxury, he would sleep on the ground. He'd eat stale bread. He wore rough clothes. Why? To remind himself, I don't need comfort to survive. I need strength to thrive. Epictetus practiced going without born into slavery. He knew that pain was part of life. So he trained his mind to say, let it hurt, but let me remain free inside. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you were born to stand strong, not to seek pleasure like a dumb animal. This wasn't about self-punishment. It was about preparing for real life, a life full of discomfort, temptation, and challenge. And here's the truth. Every time you say no to a bad habit, you're not just resisting. You're lifting a mental weight. You're training your will like a muscle. And just like in the gym, the reps matter. Saying no once, that's good. Saying no again, that's power. Saying no daily, that's identity. Stoics believed you should voluntarily do what's hard, so that when life hits, you're not shaken. So here's a simple Stoic challenge for you. Choose one discomfort every day. Take a cold shower. Skip a treat. Go for a walk instead of scrolling. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Each act is a reminder. I am in charge, not my cravings. That's Stoicism. That's strength. And that's how you train the will, one choice at a time. Let's be honest. You're going to mess up. You'll promise yourself to stop the habit. And a few days later, you'll give in. And when that happens, most people do one of two things. They beat themselves up with guilt. Or they give up entirely, thinking, what's the point? But Stoics do neither, because Stoics know failure isn't the end, it's part of the path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you stumble, get up. Don't waste time blaming the floor." That's Stoic wisdom in action. They didn't expect perfection, they expected progress. Reframing failure to a Stoic, a relapse is not a sign of weakness. It's a signal that you still have something to learn. Instead of asking, why did I fail again? Ask, what did this moment teach me? Was it stress, lack of sleep, a bad routine, emotional triggers? The goal isn't to shame yourself. The goal is to study the failure, then grow from it. Seneca said it best. Even if a man is caught in vice again and again, let him try again. Let him fight. Why? Because you're not your past choices. You are your next one. The Stoic reset method, notice the failure without drama, reflect. What caused it? What can you adjust? Forgive yourself. Start again immediately. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. The Stoics believed every moment is a fresh chance to choose virtue. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait to feel ready. Just say, I fell. And now, I rise. Because that's the Stoic way. Not flawless, but fearless in starting again. It's one thing to know the philosophy. It's another to live it, every single day. And that's where the Stoics truly shine. They didn't rely on motivation. They didn't wait for inspiration. They used a daily system, a routine that built discipline and character over time. So here's your daily Stoic routine to overcome bad habits and build a stronger you. 1. Morning clarity. 5 minutes. Right after waking up, grab a notebook or use your phone's notes app. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What temptation or habit might challenge me? How will I respond? This isn't fluff. It's mental armor for the day. Marcus Aurelius did this in meditations every morning. You will meet people who are selfish, arrogant, jealous. But none of that should disturb your peace. Your habits are no different. Expect the struggle. Prepare the response. 2. Midday mindfulness. 2 to 5 minutes. At some point during the day, pause, breathe, and ask, am I acting with purpose or on autopilot? This short check-in helps you catch yourself before a bad habit takes over. Even one moment of awareness can break the cycle. 3. Evening reflection, 5 to 10 minutes. Before bed, do a Stoic journaling session. Write down, what did I do well today? Where did I slip and why? What can I do better tomorrow? No guilt, no drama, just honest, clear thinking. Seneca recommended this every night. I will go over my entire day and account for my actions, words, and thoughts. It's like checking your compass so you don't drift off course. 4. Repeat daily. The secret isn't intensity, it's consistency. Even 10-15 minutes a day of this simple practice will rewire your mind. You'll start to notice patterns. You'll build awareness, and slowly but surely, you'll become the kind of person who doesn't need bad habits anymore. Not because you forced change, but because you became someone new. And that's the Stoic path. Not a perfect life, but a powerful one built on purpose, action, and self-respect.